Hi Ange, this is your lesson 7, salt water. Have you noticed that the ocean water is salty? Um, Actually, the ocean or the seas are about 3.25% salt. Most of the earth is covered by oceans, 21%, like what I told you before in your other lesson. Three-fourths of all of the earth is water. And all of the large bodies of land, the continents on Earth, are surrounded by water. The two largest oceans would be the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. That's the one we see when we go to the beach. Seas are large bodies of water but are smaller than oceans. And they still have the same percent of salt, like 3% salt. There are more seas than oceans. And an example of seas would be the Mediterranean Sea, the Caribbean Sea, the Caspian Sea, the Baltic Sea, the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea has particular characteristic that it's the saltiest body of water in the world. Instead of having 3% water, it has 25% of, sorry, instead of having 3% of salt, it has 25% of salt. It's 1/4 salt. It's so salty that you can't sink in that water. You only float in it even if you don't want to. There was a man called Matthew Murray who was a man that spent a lot of time on ships. But then he had an accident and couldn't travel anymore. So he took a job doing ocean charting, meaning drawing maps to help people who travel the oceans. And while reading the Bible, he became inspired in a Psalm Bible verse and thought of the idea of currents in the ocean, meaning that the water travels in one direction. And how do currents form? It's because when water gets warm, it becomes lighter than cool water. So always warm water goes to the top and cool water goes to the bottom of the ocean or of the sea. And in that movement of water, meaning that warm water goes up and cold water goes down, currents, directions of water are formed. And sometimes those deep cold currents come up when they reach land, carrying many kinds of food for fish. And fish come to eat it, and birds come to eat the fish. All of those water currents in the world affect some of the Earth's climate. Climate is the kind of weather that we have over a long period of time. And for example, Britain, a country, wouldn't be, it's cold, but it would be much colder if it wasn't for these water currents. And currents also help ships travel faster. Okay? So things to remember from your lesson. Oceans and seas have salty water. Remember that the difference between an ocean and a sea is that the sea is smaller. Then also we have to remember Matthew Murray, the man that was inspired by reading the Bible about thinking that the water has currents, directions where they go. And you have to remember that warm water goes to the top, cold water goes to the bottom. Okay, that would be it, Ange. Bye.